This is not the first time that the U.S. Has cast the sole veto in resolutions, particularly in this case, to try to end the war on Gaza. It's a flimsy excuse right now to talk about the hostages being mentioned in the resolution. Normally, I mean, you have a ceasefire, and then the two sides need to negotiate. You also need to listen to the other 14 members of the Security Council who voted for the resolution, what their logic is. Normally, hostages, prisoners of war are exchanged. So I imagine it's a tricky thing to get the Israelis to admit to how many Palestinian prisoners they have.
Yeah.
And did they take them all this year or some of the older ones? They've always been reluctant to release lists, and whenever Hamas asked for specific names, they usually turned them down.
They're not prisoners of war. We have to distinguish between these two categories. They are innocent civilians who were abducted by Hamas on day one of this war on October 7th, among them elderly, children, young women, elderly women, and 101 are still held by Hamas and Islamic Jihad, and we don't know how many of them are alive. And with every day that goes by, they're more and more in danger, in inhumane conditions and cruel conditions. And therefore, it's very surprising that the United Nations Security Council cannot find a way of even mentioning them by mentioning, not what was asked from them, not more than that. There is a debate inside Israel about the hostage situation. A majority of Israelis overwhelmingly support a hostage deal. Netanyahu has his own political calculations and games that he's playing. Hopefully now, in the coming weeks, there could be a formula found for the for negotiations to be resolved and reach a point where there's a ceasefire on one hand and the release of hostages on the other hand.